Well, the story goes when she went when I was playing in 1976, 77, she used to go to Kerry matches wearing Kerry socks, but she would wear a Dublin jersey, you know, just in case. But today she doesn't. Today she's a true blue, you know.
Really?
Okay.
True blue.
Well, that's probably the perfect time to tell you the background to this, because there's Alan, there's Bernard and Paul Brogan all on the Dublin panel, but Maria from Kerry. So, how did it happen? Marty has the story to share with you all. Save Bernard's blushes.
It was Dublin really that lifted the G at that particular time. That's when the revival started, and we followed Kerry, and it lifted the Kerry game as well.
In 1974, Dublin was amazing, the flags, the colour and all that. For teams like Kerry, then Dublin became the team to beat.
It was kind of, I suppose, urban versus rural. Great friendships developed as well between both teams, there's no doubt about that.
So tell me, lads, about one of the hidden histories of the rivalry of Kerry and Dublin football.
Well, Marty, in 1975, I found myself working in Kerry here. I worked for a few months and then went looking for someone to train with. And I ended up training with a group of guys here in Kerry, of which Jimmy was one.
Both of us were very like-minded about fitness, and we were both fanatics in fitness. It was more than just Gaelic football we were training for Kerry and Dublin. We were training out of the sheer enjoyment of it as well.
Yeah.
So pass the ball and then go.
No, well, Jimmy thought he was the fastest man in the world, you know. So the reason he wanted to train with me, because I was the only fella that could beat him.
I know. John O'Keefe came into the gym in Tarbert one day, and Bernard was doing a circuit, and I was timing him, and John O'Keefe couldn't believe it. And he said to me, "You might rue that day yet." Probably right.
We came back and beat Kerry twice, so for us that was a big deal. And I think for playing the Dublin teams like a fairy tale, so that whole thing came about, and probably one of the greatest football teams of all time then was born out of that Kerry team. I think Jimmy and I marked each other once, and I can remember standing down in the huge stand, and Jimmy was trying to bore me to death, so that when the ball came in, I'd be, so you know, that I'd be asleep. And
yeah.
It pretty much worked, I think, that time. It was taken off.
We bought this pitch back in the 70s, and then we ran a carnival every year in order to pay for the pitch. So in 76, we were training in Ballybunion, and I told Bernard that there was a great dance on in Finoog. Didn't tell him it was inside in a tent, so he should come to it.
Yeah, actually, we were both weren't drinking. We were both on the dry because we were good boys, and Jimmy introduced me to Maria.
Mary King Stack, who was a local girl from the Stole. She was a very good friend of mine, and they spoke to each other and arranged to meet in Dublin, and that started that great romance.
Was it love at first sight in Finoog for Bernard Brogan?
It was, yeah, yeah. As I said, the way Jimmy was after it, that was like an ad for a matchmaking service now. So Jimmy's going to change his name to Dan Paddy Andy with politics.
And then that ended up in marriage, and ended up now with producing 3 great footballers, Alan, Bernard and Paul. And I'm convinced that if Dublin will win, they're going to make major contributions. In a strange way, I will wind up contributing to Kerry's defeat tomorrow if Dublin will win.
If he falls out with the Kerry people down here, then he can always come to Dublin and we look after you to me up there and make sure you've got a safe seat in Dublin.
I can't understand why you asked to meet her in Dublin when she lived in Listowel and you were in
No, she was actually working in Dublin.
Oh, was she?
I was working in Kerry and she was nursing in Dublin. And I met her in the Horseshoe House.
Classy fella.
And I went in and there was no, yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't take her up to Navan Road, no.
No. She wouldn't have married me.
All right, well, Paddy, that's all part of the fun of it and the rivalry. Now, in the same way that Bernard was working there and you used to go to Listowel races all the time, didn't you?
Yeah. I went for a long time, and then one day down there I almost died, okay? I mean, because there's a lot of drinking going on. Yeah. And we knew nothing about horses, but we knew everything about drink. So I woke up one morning and I said, and this was after about 10 years going down, I said, I'm never going back there again. Because I want to die in Dublin, I don't want to die in Istanbul.
And that's a fact.
That's the truest.
Half the population didn't know it because there was a lot of rugby schools where they didn't play football and stuff like that. But now everyone is into it. Turnier College have loads of flags up, and that's a rugby school. I passed it today on the way in, but this is the most exciting. I couldn't eat today.
It's very exciting.
Couldn't eat. The excitement of the match.
That's not to do with 6 nights of Listowel races.
That has something to do with it. It was called off today, not because the ground was too wet, but because we couldn't stick anymore. It's back on next Friday, don't forget. Great day.
Billy, what is the difference this? Our next performers are 2 ladies from Dingle, here to sing The Beautiful. It's one of my all-time favourites, The Boys of Bornasroja. Will you please give a warm welcome to Lumiere?
Beautiful. Thanks to Luke. It's good to have you here, lads. You know, Grania, that Jacko and Keith have, what, 8 All-Ireland medals between the two of you?
Yeah, correct, yeah. I have 7, he has 1. Just before you start, Paddy Cullen's upstairs crying. He's literally, every time you have him on the telly, he's been buried. He's after letting in 7 goals.
Did you tell him we're still only showing the same match? Yeah, well, Jacko with the 7 medals.
I suppose that means you must be considered fairly decent in Kerry, so...
Well,
if you can show more